All right, it's noon. Kathleen claims that she's going to do a Twitter Q&A today. But then in typical Zellner style, she had it posted, she tweeted it, and then she removed the tweet. So people are questioning if this is actually happening today. So we're just going live right now to see if she does. I've got Twitter on one screen. I'm sorry about the bright snow behind me. So I've got Twitter on my second screen. And whatchamacallit? And I'll just keep refreshing it to see if she does go live. Let me turn the sound off my phone right now. And then if she does go live on Twitter, we have moderators here who will be taking screenshots, and we'll post all of them when it's all over. So we'll wait a little bit, and if she doesn't come on, then we'll just end this and move along with our lives. Until then, if there's anything you want to discuss, we can discuss. Right now, it's just people saying hello and hello to everybody. Terry says, what's going on? Kathleen had tweeted that she was going to do a live Q&A today to discuss the bones that she just filed on. So what does the sign say behind me? That's from the salvage yard. So I put it there to try and block some light, but now there's still some over there, and my dogs will go crazy if they can't still see outside. So I can't just completely close all the blinds, because then I'm going to be dealing with them being crazy about not being able to get. People saying hello, people asking about the sign. So this is a sign, or I should actually turn this way because my head will block that a little bit, right? But so it's a no trespassing, private drive in property, Chuck Avery. This is what used to hang up on Avery Road. And then my boyfriend had made them official signs, and then took this one in place of the sign that he made for them instead. So all right, scrolling through your hellos from all over the world. Right, that's Nicola saying, since she deleted the tweet, maybe she, I'm not holding my microphone. I always forget about this microphone thing. Since she deleted the tweet, maybe she's not doing it today. So that's why, we're just popping on just in case. If she was, we were here. Here, I should go refresh Twitter and see if she's posted anything. I'm sorry. I'm not a Twitter person, so I just call it post, even though it's tweet, right? Nothing there right now. So figured it doesn't hurt for me to go on here in case she does still do something. So is it snowing there? Not currently. It snowed all night. It's not snowing now. The snow is supposed to stop, but then we're going to be hit with cold and a whole lot of wind and a really nasty wind chill. So yay us. What did she delete? The tweet that she tweeted yesterday saying she would be going live at noon Central Time today to do a Q&A to only talk about the bones that she just submitted on, the bones from the gravel pit. Ryan asks, how's the case looking for going back to court? I can't ever speak to that because in my view, everything's right there. I don't think he should even get another trial. They should just open the doors, let him out, and then give him the keys to Wisconsin, and he now owns that state. So, but the way our court system works, and going back to judges that already ruled against him and blah, blah, blah. So who knows? Jamie asked, they did deny the testing. Is that true? No, they did not deny the testing. They denied for her current appeal, or that she was working on. She wanted to put a pause in that to then focus on these bones to see what the result would be from those bones. And they ruled against pausing the proceedings for that. So now she has filed this in tandem with the other one. Beverly says, can you give a recap? I've been out of the loop and don't really know what she filed. Just a quick recap. So there was the pelvic bone that was found at the Manitowoc County gravel pit. So not the quarry that's right behind the salvage yard. It's not as close to the salvage yard. And in the original trial, Sweaty Sweat claimed, these aren't the droids you're looking for. These bones are nothing. We don't even know if they're human. So let's not pay any attention to these bones over here. Let's look only at these bones at Stephen's house. And so when somebody is convicted, the evidence has to remain in storage the whole time they are incarcerated, so that evidence can be retested as science comes up with new things, and their retrials and appeals, whatever you want to call it. So now Kathleen, wanting to see this pelvic bone to figure out what it is and if it's Teresa, well, it turns out they gave the bones to the Hallback family, had it delivered to the funeral home where they were having the service for Teresa. So you've now broken the law by breaking the chain of custody and handing over these bones to be buried to this family, or if they were going to cremate. So you've broken that chain of custody, given away evidence, but also you claim those weren't Teresa's bones, that nobody knew what those were. So if those are Teresa's bones that are in a gravel pit, it makes no sense that this would be Stephen, and it's not what he was tried on. He was tried on that he killed her in the garage and then burned her in the pit behind the house. So why would her bones now be way over in the gravel pit? So, that's what the whole thing with the bones is. We obviously, none of us are Kathleen Zellner, so we don't know what her full motive is for this. Is it just to show that, she knows she can't get those bones, because even if she was able to get them, chain of custody is broken. Somebody could just say, well, how do you know those bones weren't switched? So you're now going to test those bones and say, oh, look, it's not Teresa, or, oh, look, it is Teresa. Either way, there's no proof that the bone that were buried is Teresa, because they broke the chain of custody. So that, again, is violating Stephen's rights. So, and I think there's only like a week, right? There's only like a week left because it was like 12 days or 10 days or something before somebody would have to respond. I never remember any of that stuff. I don't know the legal stuff. So I can't tell you for sure how many days till somebody has to file something, and then how many more days after that for somebody to counter. I just wait for people to tell me that okay, it's been filed or, whatever. I never know. I just refreshed again. Still nothing on her Twitter. Let me go back to what you guys have posted. Since I've been talking, it scrolled a little bit, so I don't have everybody's stuff. So if you ask something, I don't need to see it. Angel, I know you said you don't have to hold the mic up, but then I've been told when it was down. So now, okay, Angel, here's what it is when I hold the mic up, and then here's what it is when I put it down. So you tell me if I need to hold the mic up, because I've been told before, oh, it sounds way better if you hold it up. So, and I'm supposed to be getting this big arm thing that then I wouldn't have to hold it, and it would be closer to my mouth. So I'll wait until Angel comments again and tell me, okay, does it make a difference if I'm holding it or not? Because I'd rather not hold it. Carla says, is it possible to run out of appeals for Stephen and Brendan? I think if, as long as you uncover new evidence, I think you can always revisit. That's what I think. But if you don't have anything new and you're going to keep trying to go back with the same old stuff, then you can exhaust all appeals. Angelo says, does Kathleen think them giving the Hallbacks to Bones is enough to release Stephen? I don't know if she said anything on that, and if that's what she thinks. And there's a lot of people here talking, so comments are scrolling really fast. No, there is no currently any Q&A on Twitter with Kathleen, and now we're at 12:11 p.m. I would think she would have started already if she was going on. I'll refresh her Twitter again and see. Nothing new yet. Oh, Jessica's in Northern Illinois. I'm a Western Chicago suburb, Jessica. Amanda says, these men are innocent, not guilty. Yep. Jessica says, any new news since MAM2 has been out? Oh, there are lots, Jessica. There's always something, but right now the big deal is this pelvic bone. So we're waiting to find out what's going to happen, if this pelvic bone is going to be enough to at least get Stephen a new trial. Arlene says, no one realizes that Sweaty Sweat did it, had the knowledge and time to cover it, and he knew, and now it's all gone, and I can't read the rest of it. I think Sweaty Sweat is a disgusting pig. Obviously immoral, since he's a rapist. I'm sorry, you're forcing women to have sex with you against their will. That's a rapist. So he's a disgusting human being and should be in prison. But I don't think he killed Teresa Hallback. He just was trying to use this case to make him a star so he could hook up with his granddaughter. Teresa says, can someone update me on what's going on, please? Hopefully you already saw it. I updated at the beginning. We're waiting to see if Kathleen is doing a Q&A that she tweeted about yesterday that she was going to do on Twitter at noon today. It's better down, you say, Angel? Huh, okay. Good for me. Okay, I just refreshed, nothing new. And now there's Beth saying, mic up, down, up, down, up. One of the moderators says you don't need to, but it does sound better. This one, no difference. So we have going both ways. So then I'm just going to leave it down because I don't want to hold it. So I'll try and put it closer to me, maybe. Thank you, everybody, for telling me thumbs up or thumbs down on the microphone. And let me refresh again. Nothing. So we're at 12:15. We'll give it 15 more minutes. If she hasn't done anything or we haven't heard anything, then we will end this live. People talking about the mic. Question Bobby Dassey. Yeah. John says the tweet was deleted yesterday about an hour after she posted it. I was surprised to see the stream happen even though the tweet was deleted. Well, the reason the stream still happens is because she deletes stuff constantly. So I'm like, well, what does it hurt for me to go live? So if something did happen, we were here. You know, if people join in on this, they join. If not, not. Tracy says, why are they not letting in the new evidence? The bones are important. Well, again, it's not them not letting the bones in. They weren't she was asking for a pause in the appeal process to then focus on these bones. They said no. You know, so either you have to end your current appeal and then see where these bones take you, or just continue forward without the bones. So she's still pursuing the bones. Megan says, it should have been thrown out since nothing they said can be recreated. There also was no proof she was ever in the garage or the trailer, or if she was in either with what they speculate happened, the tape would have left her DNA on the bed, and being shot in the garage, blood should be there. Oh, I know. Yeah, you're preaching to the choir. We all know they don't have anything. Anything that they say is evidence was all planted, or, well, everything's suspicious. They don't have any single thing that is can't be refuted. Eddie says, can we touch on the correlation with the people who want Stephen Brendan in jail and the people? No, we're not getting into politics. Scott says, so when did they give the Hallbacks the bones, and was it after they filed the motion to test them? The Hallbacks got the bones long time ago. Somebody, Heather, I just saw your trespassing post. That's hilarious. I didn't even think of that. So somebody chime in here, and what year were the bones given to the Hallbacks? My brain doesn't retain numbers, so I have no idea what year that was, but it was a long time ago, not recent. Marianne said, who is the rapist? Kratz. He made clients have sex with him who didn't want to have sex with him. That's a rapist. He's a raper. Had a couple things ask about Making a Murderer 3. We get asked this every time we're live. We don't have any inside knowledge on Making a Murderer 3. I would think for sure there would be another one, because both parts, part 1 and part 2, were successful, and this case investigation continues. It's a crazy case, and things keep happening. So Eddie, stop asking about Hillary and Obama. We are not discussing anything related to politics in here. Arlene says, yeah, just don't get that he could be the high of all this mess. He knew how to cover it all. And hello from Lauren in England. Megan says, why did they give evidence away that's against his due process? Right? Yeah. So they need to answer that. On why did you give those bones to the family when they are evidence, and you know they have to be kept in evidence, and you're saying it's not Teresa? So twofold. Why? Oh, Tara says Dateline is on right now with Stephen and Brendan's story. So maddening to see Sweaty Sweat and Fassbender. Yeah, right? Oh my God, your things are going so fast. Scrolling through. We are waiting on, let me go refresh her Twitter, that she had tweeted yesterday she was going to go live today, but then she deleted it. So we went live in case she did still pop on Twitter. We are now at 12:20 p.m. Central Time right now. If nothing happens by 12:30, we will end today's live. Jessica says there is no way Teresa would have been burned in a regular fire. It takes a lot of heat to disintegrate a body, and there's no way to do that in an open fire burn. Hashtag science. Heidi, yeah, we've got, there's moderators on here, and they're the ones that tend to people who are posting stuff. Because if I do that and try and keep up with these comments, I'll get even more lost. So, but I understand what you're saying. Shelley says the state broke their own law giving the bones back, and they knew it. They didn't even let Stephen or his lawyer know. Yeah. Lauren says everything is suspicious. Yeah. Jean says, what's the chance of a conviction of the real killer with evidence destroyed? Surely no one could have a fair trial now. Well, we don't know all that Kathleen has, because think about the Dassey garage. So if Bobby is the killer and he did cut her up in his garage so he could burn her in pieces as opposed to throwing a whole body in some kind of fire smelting thing or whatever. And then he got that roadkill deer to slaughter in there to try and get that blood to cover the other blood. And now Kathleen has done testing in that garage that human blood would still show. So there would be some explaining to do on why is Teresa's blood in the Dassey garage. Marianne said, my question must be getting filtered. I thought I answered your question. I don't recall what it is at this point, but I thought I answered something of yours. And thank you, moderator and Heidi. 2011 is when they gave the bones to the Hallback family. Oh, the day one of the moderators got married. So that's how you can remember it. Well, you could probably remember it anyway because you're a numbers person. Randall says, thank you for shutting down the attention desperate trolls who want to talk about politics. Well, this Stephen Avery project is no place for politics, no matter which side you're on. We all have our opinions on it, but this isn't the place to debate politics. The only time we discuss politics here is when it pertains to the case. So governor, when they won't, the governor and the attorney general is really all we've ever discussed because those mean something in the case, right? Tracy says, why won't bones stay in evidence? Someone's hiding the truth. Yeah. Stacy says, if she deleted her most current post, there must be a good reason. Well, it's like cat and mouse, though, constantly with Kathleen, because she tweets so much stuff and then deletes it, and then sometimes puts the same exact thing back up, or she puts something up that's very similar to what had been up before, but it's tweaked a little bit. So that's why it's like, well, I'm just going to go live either way because I don't follow Twitter. And so this made me, so I even sat here a few minutes before going live to go, all right, can I even still get on Twitter? Because I don't use it. Sorry, people who like Twitter, but I don't like Twitter. Rachel says, is she not taking questions? No, not currently. So since we're at 12:24 now, she's not coming on. Because she also would announce, so people would have the opportunity to get there and ask questions. So we're just going to stay on here until 12:30 my time. So in case anybody else has any more questions or anything they want to discuss, and then we'll just end for today since nothing's going on and people can go about their business. Christopher says, Scott and Bobby are involved. Give them the brainwave scan Stephen had. Yeah, that whole brain fingerprinting thing, when I first heard about it, I was like, oh, that's stupid. But then when I saw it in Making a Murderer 2, I was like, oh, this is actually kind of, interesting. And so, and they've offered it, but, nobody's going to take her up on it. Alma says, can they get sued for giving the bones to the family? I'm not sure what recourse they have with those bones. I think you just need to give Stephen his freedom, and then he can file a civil suit for his civil right violation. Jerry says, can't the president give pardon? No, because Stephen's case is a state case. So the president can't interfere with a state case. Only the governor can. So, and up until this last November election, the governor that Wisconsin had, when he took office, he said he would never pardon anybody. It wasn't just a Stephen thing. He had said that he believes in our judicial process, and if you're found guilty, you're guilty, and he wasn't going to let anybody out. So I don't know if the new governor would think differently, but also Kathleen would rather win him his innocence than for a governor to just let him walk. Because also you have to make sure how you get him out. You don't want him out, clemency, which means you're guilty, but time served and we'll let you go. So then that means he can't sue and get paid for the time he's had his life stolen. Rachel says, Bobby looked guilty as hell. He kept getting the times wrong, and he took off hunting at the time he saw Teresa. He fucking followed her. I agree. Jess says, is she still filing on the 1st? Well, somebody told me, I guess that because now waiting on this, it will pause that again. So she won't have to file by the 1st. She'll get a new date. Stop it, dog. Okay, you people are replying to each other. Shelly says, I read that Teresa was buried, but I haven't been able to source that. Doesn't anyone know for sure if cremated or buried? I don't know. I only know it was given to a funeral home. But that doesn't tell you one way or the other. So, and even if you have a service at a grave, it doesn't mean you weren't cremated and it's not the cremains that are getting buried. So, I don't know. Christopher says he did it at deer camp. That was something I thought about at one time, is the Rat Ant deer camp over there. But I don't think so. I've been told that the Averys and the Rat Ants don't really, I don't know, they don't get along, or not even that they don't get along. They just don't have anything to do with one another. So I don't think Bobby would go there. If you're doing something that you don't want to get caught for, you would do it in privacy of your own place. So if he's getting Teresa in the middle of the day and he knows that his brothers are at school and his mom's at work, his garage is just as safe as any place. No different than Stephen allegedly doing it at his place. So let me scroll. We've got a minute left. And hello to everybody saying hello. Let me refresh over here while I'm thinking about it on the Twitter, since I'm about to end this live. Nope. Scrolling through your comments to see if there was anything different. Mark asks, did they tell the family they were Teresa's bones? don't know what they said upon giving them the bones, but I know you're not supposed to assume anything, but you would think, why else are you giving me these unless they're Teresa? BJ says, I think the police did everything and put everybody against each other in the process. I don't think the police killed Teresa. If you're also saying that you think the police killed her, I don't think that. I think they planted stuff. And I think when they originally planted stuff, they thought Stephen was guilty and they were framing a guilty man. Rachel says, did you say I agree it was Bobby? Yes, I do. I think at least from everything that Kathleen has released thus far, all points to Bobby with Scott's help. Dustin says, do you think that Teresa was in the back of the RAV4 when Colburn called in the plates? That's not what I think, the theory that I subscribe to, but if that's what came out, I wouldn't be surprised, and if that were the case, obviously then the police, or I should say police, because I hate when that happens, because the police didn't do this stuff. It's the sheriff's department that did it. So the deputies then did whatever to her body to get rid of it, which I don't think happened. But again, if that's what came out, that's what the evidence showed, I wouldn't be surprised by it. The only thing at this point that would surprise me is if something came out to say Stephen and or Brendan were guilty, because I believe 100% that both of those guys are innocent. And there has been nothing out there to prove otherwise to me. And I didn't just watch Netflix. David says, if it's a state case, why did the state involve the FBI while examining evidence? Surely that would make it federal. By the way, UK here, so not in the know on US law. No, they were just asking for the testing for that. So it didn't make it a federal case. That's them just using their expertise on that one area. So, so it still goes to state courts. It's not United States. Dale Ann says, what bothered me was the Hallback saying Stephen being guilty was secondary to her being murdered. That wasn't the Hallbacks that said that, though. That was like a Teresa friend, right? That was in part 2. So, so don't put that on the Hallback family. I think that was just the guy claiming to be one of Teresa's friends that said that, if I remember correctly. And I defend the Hallback family a lot, because I just always want people to think about, if that were your family, if that was your loved one that disappeared, and if you're somebody who doesn't have issues with law enforcement, you have no reason not to believe them when they're going to tell you, here's the evidence, and this is where it points, and this is what happened to your daughter. So, and I'm not going to judge them for how they grieve, because everybody grieves differently, and, could have been raised on, you don't cry in public, and, all that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to judge Teresa's mother on not crying. And then it could just be, I was watching something, I watch a lot of the ID channel, And I was just watching something on the ID channel. Or no, it wasn't the ID channel. It was this week's 48 Hours, the new episode of 48 Hours, where it was somebody that, you know, they talked about how hard it was for when the court process keeps going, they have to keep reliving the murder of their loved one. And so at the end of this 48 hours is the right person was found. And so the family member was like, I can sleep now because it's finally over. I don't have to worry about this keep being brought back up and, you know, reliving this nightmare. So I can totally understand the Hallback family not wanting to get involved in all this making a murderer hoopla, because in their opinion, the right person is in prison and they're not going to watch Making a Murderer. You know, we all say we would watch. I would watch if, you know, I would want to know, but not everybody's the same, and they don't want to see that, and they don't want to hear it. They lived the trial, and no matter what happened to Teresa, they're without their loved one, and that's sad, you know. So I know, you know, there's a lot of Stephen supporters who sometimes can be so hard on the Hallback family, and I hate it. Because, again, no matter what happened to Teresa, they lost their loved one. You know, I wish people would take it easy on them and just let them live their life and not keep questioning them. All right, so I've just been blabbing way past the time that I said I was going to end. So, let me refresh the Twitter, even though if she was tweeting, a moderator would have let me know. So, all right. So I'm just going to end this live since nothing new case-wise. And, you know, sorry for the false alarm, but it's better to go on just in case, right? So if she reschedules this, we'll go live again. Or if there is a ruling on her latest filing or anything else, we'll go live. And then we also have our other group that currently is called Gossip Project, which today is the day, the 30 days that I think I can change it back to MAM Gossip, which is what people were asking for. They didn't like the name change and they wanted to be MAM Gossip. So I may change that now if it allows me, since the 30 days are up since when I changed it before. I had changed it because in that group we discuss tons of other cases, and people would complain that we shouldn't discuss other cases since the title of it is MAM. So I got tired of the complaints, so I just changed it to Gossip Project to go, see, there, now we can discuss any case. It doesn't say MAM on it. But then people are like, I like it to be MAM Project. So I'll probably change it back today. So, all right. So thank you for tuning in today, and, you know, stay tuned. Stephen Avery Project will always inform you as soon as anything comes out. All right. Until next time.